decide to have no interest in candy. But this was the exception.
We used to have some, they call them caramels.
Yes.
That was different than the, like the chewy caramel or whatever. And you put them in your mouth and it would just melt. But I can't find them anymore.
I'm gonna shut this down real quick.
Huh?
Come here, shut this down real quick.
Oh, you're not staying?
God, I got an apple that I need to get done. Today is Larry's birthday. All you have to do is come here where it says end screen, click on that, and you're out of business. Okay? I'll show you today
Oh, yeah.
how to set it up. There's your live stream going out right now. And the important part of this whole deal is to set the studio up before you turn the camera on. Set the studio up before you turn the camera on.
Well,
Then you're in like.
Were you?
There you go.
Were you?
I was forget my hand and double line or don't get.
yes, I was.
All right, you have a good day. Nice to see you. How you been?
Put your history.
I will do that.
You guys have a good day.
A personal thing, and Abby knows where it is. She doesn't care about it. She doesn't.
She doesn't.
No.
Or nothing else.
Oh, have a good day, guys.
Not
Yeah,
much.
Nice to see you.
Anything she's wanted since Connie died, anything she's wanted, she has.
Yeah. Understandable.
You guys still want me
And
for,
I intended this to be the what?
you still want me for backup snow this winter?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
You can read the empty workers.
You guys have a good day.
A lady was going through her files and thought maybe someone would like to have it for their information.
Hi, Sis. You too. I was expecting all the time. Looks like I forgot my glasses.
Will he bring them?
No, I don't need them. They're just my reading
Oh,
glasses. Oh, I can still. I can probably still make stuff out. Yeah.
I don't think mine would help you.
I think I just went a little, I used to carry my purse all the time. I don't think I have any anymore. And I don't have my contacts in, so.
I remember that I know Ed grew a beard and he got an infected hair. And the doctor's bill, we should have just paid the fine.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that whole idea of chopping off the southern 6 miles, which would create Leesburg as the geographical center. That's quite a story. Because 6 miles takes it almost about halfway between Silver Lake and Cleveland.
Oh.
Because the southern county line is actually 2 miles south of Silver Lake. So 4 miles north would be the 6 miles.
Okay.
And I've read several different articles about that.
Wow.
I'm trying to remember the acronyms they could find. But it was a very heated debate.
Oh, was it?
Yes. Yeah. And
When did the debate, when was the debate?
well, then John Chapman, in about 1835, 1836, someplace in there, the Natural Chapman Lake is named after, by the way.
Oh, is it? Okay.
John Chapman was the area representative to the Indiana legislative body. And he stepped forward and put his foot down and said, no, we're not chopping off the southern 6 miles to make Leesburg, and he was a resident of Leesburg.
Oh, he was. Is there a Chapman big house somewhere?
I think there is, yeah.
You could jump up there and take Christina's seat and I'll just get all three of you guys.
No, I'm fine right here.
How about the water bottle?
I'll actually put down my newspaper here.
stuck in the
Jersey?
middle
No,
there.
I'm gonna move it.
Last time I didn't get a smiling picture of you guys, so
Uh-oh.
this will be good. Thank you.
You're welcome. But I thought that was rather ironic that
Yeah.
a local guy is the one that put the kibosh
It
on
is.
topping off the southern 6 mile. And it probably would have benefited, and he was a businessman, as I recall, and it would have benefited him to have Leesburg as the county seat. But it would have required work from the state legislature, because the township lines have already been set once.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
And township lines are 6 miles by 6 miles, so.
For the most, yeah, with very few exceptions. Fulton County locally, Fulton County is a little bit of an exception, because it's got a little
Tail on it.
tail. And then you get south of Indianapolis, the Lafayette area, there's a lot of
Manipulations going on down there, due to rivers, or
I would guess probably.
they wanted to try to
Mhm.
encompass. Well, you know, Larry Foster came from there, so.
What can you say?
There's a reason for it. Prince Swift, wasn't it? Wasn't he from Central?
No.
No, he played basketball against Larry Bird. Yeah. And Larry Bird's from Elmore, which is Elmore. In that county. Hello, Christina.
It was a program here.
Yeah.
We'll blame Doug. I saw him.
Don't care to blame Doug.
Yeah, he's not here to defend himself, so.
Christina, that piece is for the, if you need
Oh,
it,
thank you.
or,
Yes, absolutely.
I don't really know it, so.
Oh, boy.
Things rolling. Oh, is it Mike here? Yeah. Go ahead.
Full house today,
Yeah.
big crowd, isn't it? Wow.
Should I be taking notes since Mike isn't here, that I can send him,
You should.
I can be responsible for that.
The grouchy part of me says it's already being recorded live.
I
You can go
know.
back and get tape from that. Tightening that, from
Yeah. And it has to do with that stupid calendar, I'm telling you.
daylight.
Yell it. And between the calendar and my lovely daughter, who so eagerly reminds me of my age.
Regularly?
Mm-hmm. And what I shouldn't be doing, some things that I still do. The daughters are full, right, Lanta?
Yep.
It's Carrie.
The look on her face and some of the words she uses would beg the difference. 6:30. Taking the show on the road. Welcome, folks, and welcome all. We're glad you are here. Roll call. I'll make the roll call. Craig Charlton, resident. Nick Jacobs.
Here?
Tom Moore is here. Mitch Rader.
Here?
Oscar Randall.
Here.
Christina Archer.
I am here
She is awake, isn't she? The record show all present with the exception of clerk treasurer Mike Searfoss, who's on vacation. Got a chance to, let's have a pledge of allegiance. Christiane, you lead it.
Okay. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You've had the agenda and ample time to voice your opinions, yea or nay, so we need an approval.
Well, I will move that we accept our agenda for this month.
I'll second Christina's motion.
Motion's been made and a second received to approve the agenda for this evening. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Approval of our September 8th, council meeting and September 22nd, public budget hearing, meeting. Just for the record, we need to have approval of those. I'm sorry, yeah, go ahead.
I'll make a motion to approve the, September 8th meeting and our public budget hearing meeting on September 22nd.
I will second the motion.
Motion's been made and second received to approve the meetings of September 8th and September 22nd. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right. Financial reports, claims docket, and account balances.
Well, I've had, a couple minutes to look over those, and I move that we accept the financial records.
I'll second the motion.
Financial reports. Excuse me. Motion's been made and a second received to approve the financial reports as presented, the claims docket and account balances. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Street commissioner.
On the correct. September 4th, the October 25 meeting. Equipment status, all town equipment is in town working order. Repairs haven't had any of these, everything's in good shape. Ordinance violation, had 2 parking warnings issued, that's it. No parking violations given, so good shape there. Projects, painting of curbs on Van Buren and First Street, no parking leading to onto State Road 15 has been completed. I have some signs, I gotta get my checks done with 811 and I'll pop those up. Other than that, it's been kind of quiet month, but a lot of painting. Projects, painting of the curbs has been completed. And then, I just want to get on the list as far as complete curb work for 2026 for Jefferson and Pearl Street. We have those, I thought at your wish and desire, get some prices together for us that we're looking at. I know there's some money budgeted, but I want to see if it's going to take 2 years and 1 year. And we also have the section in front of, their name totally escapes me, down here in Newell. We went by that because he was going to have his drive cemented. That hadn't happened yet, but it's gone by long enough. I think we'll have to put our curb in and they can do whatever they want.
Well, we have actually had an agreement with him, but we won't do that.
That we won't do the curb?
We won't do it. It's his, he agreed, if he wants it done his way, and he will pay for it.
Okay. Well, I have spoke to him, about a cement wall, about putting builders in there, which would probably be if something would happen, you can pop those out and replace them for you. So, he was gonna
My last conversation has been a while back,
Yeah.
probably a year plus. But the owner, he had plans in, and I realize it hasn't been acted upon.
Yeah, I don't like it not being finished because, you know, it looks like we worked around it. By no means have we done such a thing.
Well, if I remember, I see him on occasion, I'll make mention of it.
So, looking at that as a project for 26, as we get things cleaned up.
Current price of concrete, I think, I'd shudder and what to do Pearl Street, or either one of them, Jefferson or Pearl.
As they go, Jefferson is worse than Pearl. That I would like to at least get finished and brought up because it's just deteriorating. Yeah, it's just breaking up, and you hate to get too close to it with a plow because it breaks. You know, a larger, more robust version, grab a semi on that, fine. But anyway, if we could keep that in mind, public information collection has begun. Haven't done a whole lot. Couple loads a week. They're just not coming down too quickly. And again, I want to thank Ferguson Farms for allowing us to dispose of those out there in a safe way, not burning them. But other than that, regulars as far as on fallen tree limbs, storm damage is done on Friday. Streets and sidewalks are the responsibility of the homeowners. That's all I have.
Any other questions for Craig?
No, I don't have any questions.
I do have one question. Have you spoken to the owner of the property that has the refrigerator setting in front?
I spoke to the owner of the property.
Because that has to go by the same with the pallet.
Can't project out on the sidewalk.
They can have it. They can have a step, because that's a pretty good step off the sidewalk, right? But they can't have a pallet protruding out into, because that's a public thoroughfare.
I will pass that on.
Now, I haven't seen him, but I'm hoping somebody has.
No, I'll pursue the pallet issue.
Thank you. Sewer report, very bland this month. No major issues anywhere that I've been notified of.
Did they report what was going on at the school, because we had alarms down?
Yeah, they did.
Was there a pump issue or anything?
Well, it was, because it was, there was actually two pits there.
Yes.
Okay. The main pit has the new barn pump in it. The other pit does not.
Okay, so that's what that
And that's where, something got in and plugged the pump up and the alarm, that's what.
I just had seen the light, and I called the number I had and said, hey, might check that.
And,
It wasn't the new pumps or anything, I think it was.
no, it's just a matter of getting it cleared and putting it back out.
Very good.
So, that's true. That's one of the things we were kind of convincing about. They've been very good about communication.
Good.
And obviously the school is a pretty important building to have a functional sewer. So I don't really have anything else, of any consequence to share. It's all working just fine. Finally. Shouldn't say that, should I, Sue? Moving on. Old business. We had our September 22nd meeting, was open to the public, and nothing has been changed since that time. So, the budget would be made up of general fund, $148,950. Local income tax, $15,000. Local road and street, $8,000. Motor vehicle highway, $126,800. And the cumulative capital improvement is $3,000, for a grand total of $3,750.
$301,000.
Pardon me, $301,750. Did I say that wrong?
Yeah, that's okay, we can see it, but.
I don't know.
I thought that was too.
I have trifocals and hearing aids, so I should be able to hear what I just said, right? So, what's your pleasure, folks?
I make a motion that we approve the budget as presented.
I will second the motion.
All right, a motion's been made and a second received to approve our 2026 budget. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. A lot of stuff here for you to sign and record. Excuse me. Moving on our old business, ordinance violations, and just a couple questions. I know there has been some fines levied and paid. Are we still levying fines, and are they getting paid?
We have 7 that have paid their $25 fine out of the 10 that we sent out. The $100, I don't think we've sent out.
I've not mailed, I've been handing them out. Just because we sent them out mail, nobody picks them up. Or they don't claim them. So I'm hunting them down and handing them to them.
Okay. Yeah, Greg and I had talked earlier, I thought he mailed them and he said that he's handing them out. Because we had the same thing with certified, they don't pick them up. And the same thing with most of the ones that he mailed out before. Although we did get some response with those. So yeah, keep track of those. Mike informs me when they pay, so that I can put them down here on our sheet. The bad ones are still the ones we're focusing on.
I don't think anyone in the room is surprised, but we just have to stay the course.
Yeah, and we just have to go through the ordinance and do it the right way. So Craig and I will keep monitoring that and see what he's giving out. I did do some checking on building at 304 East Van Buren Street with the APC that was put in after we joined with no permit. It is in their violation stack. So there's quite a few of those.
Okay.
So I'll keep following up on that and watching our playground down here.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Any other questions on this topic? I do have another comment, for our legal counsel. How you coming on the Spanish language?
Good. I finished that today. I sent an email and got a couple copies. I did the three that we talked about, the one about open burning animals and then 1099. And then I did a kind of a short cover letter. So that's what it says in English and then in Spanish. I assume Craig will be the one walking around, so I'll use your name.
Yeah, probably. Although I will probably make a couple copies of all and keep them with me because I've been known to respond to the ordinance violations also.
Mm-hmm.
In the background, most everyone in the room here this evening understands that, our Hispanic speaking population has increased. And I think that's actually a good thing, but there is a language barrier. And I've run up against this down here on West Van Buren Street, just recently with a bunch of grease in a grinder pump, a lot of grease in the grinder pump. And I was convinced that the property owners did not understand what I was saying because I don't speak fluent Spanish and they don't hear Leesburg English. So I asked legal counsel to come up with the three major ordinances, which is the burn ordinance and the refuse, animals, things like that, and get them converted into Spanish. And thankfully, you have at least one person, or you, or whoever did it,
Mm-hmm.
so that we can be rest assured that they have been given a copy that they can read. Because depending upon the child, the 8 or 10 or 12-year-old child, to make the interpretation, I just didn't feel like that was always sufficient. We weren't doing our part. So we now have some in Spanish. It doesn't do me a whole lot of good. I like the cover letter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Christina may be able to dice up.
And I don't, the refuse one, I didn't do that, but I can do that one later. Within these, I just have stuff about animals and free running animals.
And that's the big thing. Yeah, that's the big thing.
Yeah.
And the burn.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't. Last week, there's someone down here on Van Buren Street, burning a huge pile of it. You can't all burn it. Can't burn leaves. Just about can't burn leaves at any time, can you, in the state of Indiana?
The open burning laws are mostly in a covered container, in a barrel, with a 1/4 inch square on top, mesh. Farm cleanup is one of the big things. They can still do fence rows and that sort of thing, that actually residents, it's illegal to burn. In commercial property. Yeah. Trash and all that.
That makes sense to you, Christina? Okay. No? I'll get extra copies, and I'd like to have just a couple of each. I carry them in each truck, and that way, whether Mitch and Christina want, like to have any or not, that's up to them. Then the next part here is ordinance changes. You know, we have met at a little work session here recently, to work on the abandoned vehicle section, and came up with some verbiage, kind of a little mix and match, from surrounding towns to help define what exactly we want ours to say. So, what I've done here for the benefit of our wonderful reporter, has a pretty smile too. I've highlighted this, and you're welcome to have this copy.
Okay, yeah, please.
Under the abandoned vehicle section of which is 90-02, the current language, no person or persons shall abandon any vehicle within the town, period. The fact that the vehicle has been abandoned may be inferred from proof of the fact that said vehicle has been left outside of a storage garage or building and has been left unattended and has not been moved from its place of parking for a period of 15 consecutive days. That will get stricken. In replacing that, it shall read, no person shall abandon any vehicle within the town, and no person shall leave any vehicle at any place within the town for such time and under such circumstances as to cause such vehicle reasonably to appear to have been abandoned. And then one other addition into 90-06, about the fifth sentence. If no person in charge of or in control of any property which is operated as an automobile sales or service business shall permit any partially dismantled, non-operating, wrecked, junk, or discarded vehicle to remain ungaraged on said property for a period exceeding 45 days, unless at the expiration of said period, such person is in the process of disposing of said vehicle pursuant to the law of the state pertaining to the sale of abandoned and unclaimed vehicles, and then these words will be added, and hidden from public view.
So it can be covered up?
Pardon?
So the car
Is it
can,
hidden from public view?
so if the car is covered up in their yard,
If it's hidden from public view. And these are the words that we would be asking to start the legal proceedings to make those changes, correct, Nick?
Yeah, if you can, let me get copies of that or just send it to me, then the next steps would be, I can update the ordinance where we have the new language on what the council would like to see in there. And then we'll have to do a public hearing since this has an impact on an ordinance that could result in something you fine. So we would publish notice of the public hearing. We could do the public hearing at the next regular council meeting, and then the council would open it up to the public, and then if comments are made or not, then after that, the council could vote. And normally, when I publish notice of a public hearing, I like to do a copy of the proposed ordinance. And then if we do it that way, you guys can vote at the next regular meeting, and if it passes, then once you vote, it would take effect at that time.
Okay. Makes sense to me.
That's good.
Makes it,
Reference to what you were talking about, Craig, with the cover, I hadn't really thought about that, we talked about, some of them said it had to be behind the fence, but the one ordinance, and I don't remember which one it was, but it was some related to Sydney, it said that it was just hidden from public view. So that
my only question, if I cover it with boards and stuff, is that out of public view?
I think it depends on how you read the previous words. Because this section is actually for, automobiles in a business establishment.
Okay.
This does not apply
To
to a
residential,
residence.
perfect. If we have this, if we have a break there, so we know,
Yeah.
I can go in and put 40 cars and put car covers on it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That is for a commercial
This is for business.
whatsoever.
Great question. Martha, you can have this if you wish, whenever you can pick it up on the way out.
Thank you.
Okay. Anything new on our walking path issue, Christina?
Well, since our last meeting, I met with a fairly good-sized group of people, including the principal of Leesburg Elementary, Mr. Colston, with the transportation director of the school district, with a couple of other people who were connected to the school, Amy Rowe, Mr. Saltzberger, and, the guy from NACOG, name I can't think of right now, but anyway, we all met at Leesburg School to discuss the situation, and clearly, trying to make a walking path to Leesburg School is not something that's going to be reasonably feasible anytime soon. The main problem is just that the state of Indiana has laws that prohibit children to cross railroad tracks on the way to school. And that would certainly be, there's no way to get around it.
That makes it pretty clear cut then.
Yes. So, unfortunately, the way the grant was written that we were planning to use for this project, you have to have some type of destination for your walking path or trail or whatever you choose to call it. And the school is going to be the destination part of it. So that particular grant will not meet the standards that are required for it. So at this point, Amy and our other constituents there are looking for what other grants may be available. K-21 is willing to work with us to some extent. They were anyway, but they may be able to help us find additional monies that would do the part that is most important to us, which is completion of sidewalks on Prairie Street.
Yeah, the walkways.
Because that is definitely our number one priority. So we may have to go at it from a different direction, but that's what we're planning to do. There's also the possibility still of working with the county bikeways and something, anyway, county programs, and I have, a meeting with them this week on the 15th. So we're still looking at other possibilities or other places where we can find monies to help us with our project. And I don't know, Craig, has Amy called or talked with you
No, I haven't
about
called.
anything regarding the township or anything like that?
Well, not about that, but I do have a memorandum of understanding from Plain Civil Township, been approved by the board. I'm bringing it to you as a trustee, for a memorandum of understanding that the township will have available $100,000 in our township transportation and improvement fund, available in 27 for the town of Leesburg. Seed money. So it will be a great start to go to K-21 and go, hey, we got $100,000. Can you finish that off or match it? I have another individual working on a different type of money from the state that I'll know more about at some point in the future. But I have this memorandum, basically, it can go towards sidewalks. Two different directions. It can go towards the county highway or to a city organization. So, what I would like to do is give this to council and have you look it over, because he does represent both parties, and see if it's okay with you for us to pursue this. Then upon entering 2026, we can have this signed, and the money will be available January 1st, 2027.
Well, that's great news.
Well, $100,000 doesn't go anywhere in the county.
No.
But $100,000 will go a long ways in the town of Leesburg. once we agree on this, I'll have to add signatures from both boards. But we can do that, but I just wanna make sure he's comfortable with it. So, that's where it's going.
Yeah.
It's part of the big plan of the governor of getting rid of all these extra money that the township has. So, plans that we have to put together, I approached the board a couple months ago when we started putting these together. And they said, we're all for it. Sidewalks would be beneficial to a lot of citizens.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we appreciate you taking the time and taking that to the board and including and taking it to town of Leesburg, because that's gonna be a huge investment.
well, it's a start.
To us, you know, with our limited budget to do a project we want to finish up, so.
And I know it's a 2 year at this point, but again, we'll know more details, because this all come about in the last 3 months. So, we wanted to get it directed so that we can let people know, hey, we've got probably safely over half, I hope, of what it would cost to do.
Well, Amy and I did have a conversation at K-21, and, you know, they can't say what they will do until you actually submit.
Well, and that's why,
But, what I can say based on our conversation, that they were open to if one project didn't work for us, they might be able to work on something else that would offer a matching grant with us. So, like I say, I just don't feel like just, if one doesn't work out, that you can't come back and ask again.
well,
I
and
think there's a good chance that they would match with this.
part of this agreement is we have to have a rough engineering document of what we're gonna do. So I thought we started on that, see what, I'll just go through and start seeing what we have, what we need to replace, because there are a lot of walks that have been replaced. So compared this section to that, this one, why we did this one's far worse. This has a lot more detail. So I'll get started on this, looking what we have, marking what we're gonna, the actual footage of what we're gonna do replace, and have that put together so we can throw that document
So
together.
bidders can bid based
Yeah.
on
And then kind of get that laid out and spend 20 seconds doing some, taking pictures and letting people know if they want their, we had some things come along our last project where people had their driveways done as we're moving along. I would like to have that all solidified before we go in, have pictures taken, document it all, and what the expectations of the program are. We didn't do any of that first of all. So I want to have all that done, put all those documents together in 26 for both parties. And then that way we also have something to present to K-21, say, hey, we just need the balance fund to this. And maybe we can do this on our own and not put the town of Leesburg in a grant situation that we have to repay or anything of that nature. Engineering services are terribly expensive. I think we can handle this. I'm not a civil engineer, but I can handle this. And with
get permission from the property owners or buy-in from them, that goes a long way.
right. And just to address this one on a little bit different approach, but yet that way we have our expectations of our plan. Okay, so if you would, just look it over and see if that's something where we can go from. It does have all the, as you look through it, it has, that's kind of a boilerplate that I got from the ICA.
Okay.
Of what they're looking for, other than, pretty standard.
Okay.
But if you bless it, then I'll complete it, and then I'll put each board, and we'll get that put on, so we have direction with the money, and we can start working on filling in these boxes as far as what we're gonna need to do the project.
Yeah, I can do that. The only thing that I would ask, because I do represent the township and the town, when we're representing, clients on different sides of the case, we have to basically send a letter that says, hey, so that you know we represent this on the side. So I
motion made for somebody on the council to have permission to review that and to confirm that they're willing to give, consent to me reviewing this as the town's attorney and reviewing it as the attorney for the township. That would help to expedite things.
Okay. You need a designate
Mm-hmm.
to function before the board.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'd make a motion,
Go ahead, Nick.
but Tom, you be the designated, go ahead and sign, we'll take the word.
I'll second the motion.
Motion's been made, second received, that to designate me as the person you have to argue with, Nick.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Motion been made, second, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Alright, trick or treat hours, none of that has changed, I noticed it's in the paper again tonight, so.
5:30 to 7.
Yep. So, welcome all the little ghosts and monsters.
The Methodist Church will be serving hot dogs and hot chocolate and cider. So,
At the church or?
yes, at the church, in the church parking lot. People who don't live right inside town are welcome to bring their cars or card table or whatever and set up if they wanna give treats away. But everyone was welcome, adults and kids both. And hopefully we've got a lot of hot dogs.
And that's during those same hours?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. If it's cold, which is not really supposed to be, I think it's supposed to be kind of like this, but in the event it will be cold, there will be sort of a tent enclosure, which is kind of nice. We have done it in the snow before, not this year.
Not here yet.
Thank goodness.
Usually needed, there's something there for you to sign.
Yes.
Under new business, I really didn't have any things under new business. And the public comments haven't changed. Well, I want, because it's leaf season, please, folks, understand, there's no burning of the leaves. No excuses. You break them to the street, and they will be picked up and disposed of without burning them. So, please, pay attention.
Well, especially with it being so dry right now. Our
Well,
ordinance is the ordinance,
you know,
nevertheless.
that's only a small part of it. It's the people who have respiratory problems.
Mhm.
And there's a lot more of that than I ever thought. Same way with the chickens.
Hmm.
You know, there's a big, local Channel 22 news tonight, there's a big issue about bird flu again in the area, which affects the larger flock and but it's transported by any bird. It doesn't have to be a chicken. And
And I think they have it in a couple of duck houses in Elkhart County.
Yep. So, our next meeting will be November 10th, 6:30 in this room. Any other comments or questions?
One thing, Craig, on your report, Craig, I forgot, didn't mention it, but thank you for painting the curbs through town. It looks really nice. It gives a pleasure. Just adds a little bright touch to it, so.
Well, a little yellow goes a long way.
I know it's for the parking, but it's still,
Well,
it makes the town.
there is a hydrant that you should identify your street. So marking the curb or identifying our street. And then we'll do the rest of the way. Guess this fall or when it breaks in spring.
All right, thank you, folks. Meeting's adjourned.
10 gallons of paint to paint what was painted.
That's all. I'm surprised there wasn't a lot more than that. The concrete being before us.
Yeah, the new streets really. That's good. 2 coats on everything, yeah, so that's right. But the old one, I use a wire curb brush,